Hey there, it's Manny with Daddy Kool Records in St. Petersburg, Florida, and in this video we're going to go over the new releases for Friday, August 19th. Kicking off new releases for Friday, August 19th, we are going to have a record release party from local heroes, the New Brutarians. Their party is going to be Friday, August 19th at Cage. The festivities kick off at 6:30 with DJ Jada, who happens to be our newest employee here at Daddy Kool Records, as well as Teen Cobra, Bite Size, Gino from Gino and the Goons. He's going to do a solo set, and then New Brutarians showing off their latest album, Hysteria. All right, so let's get into some of the featured titles this week. We're going to start things off with the Mountain Goats with their latest album, Bleed Out. We have it sale price for $11.99 on CD. And by Friday, we should see the vinyl and hopefully the cassette. All right, next up, we have an album from a band called Heilung with their album Drift. We have it sale priced on CD, and we have it on a black wax with a 24-page booklet. And I'm going to tell you, I watched one of their videos. I was completely mesmerized. This is on Seasons of Mist label, which is known for their metal. This is like a Northern European kind of thing where you have ancient rhythms. It's very, very interesting. Lots of people wearing antlers in the video. Got to check it out. It is wild. I was like, Madonna. All right, so next up we have a pair of releases from Madonna. First off, we have the CD version. It is a triple disc, 50 #1 hits, remixes, and 7-inch versions. The thing that I really like about this, I've been jamming disc 1 in my car for the last couple of days, and it goes chronologically. So, you know, you're going to start off with Holiday and Like a Virgin, and then you will work your way into present day Madonna tunes. So anyway, I love it. 50 #1 hits from Madonna on 3 CDs. And then we have a 2 LP version. This is the indie exclusive with a gatefold cover, and it's a 2 disc set. 2 LP set, so you don't get as many songs as you get here, but you get a nice chunk, and you know, some good ones too. So 2 LP set from Madonna, finally enough love. And gift with purchase. If you pick up this Madonna on LP or CD, we have a really nice poster to give you as well. Okay, next we have a new album in the featured titles section from Panic at the Disco, Viva Las Vengeance. We have it sale priced on CD, and we have it on this fabulous coral colored vinyl. All right, next up we have a new release from Early James. It was produced by Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys, who, as you know, I think he's got the Midas touch these days. This is a really cool album. It's got a duet with Sierra Farrell on it as well. It is on a limited edition hardwood colored vinyl, and it is described as a timeless amalgam of Forsaken blues, wistful rock, and Tin Pan Alley crooning. Next up, we got a new release from Hot Chip. Awesome. Get your dance shoes on. Something new from Hot Chip is called FREAKOUT /release. We have it sale priced on CD, and we have it on this fancy brown colored vinyl, and it also includes a download code. Okay, next up we have a new album from a band called WOMBO. It is called Fairy Rust. I thought it was Fairy Rust. My notes say fairy dust. All right, we'll try this again. Next up, we have a new album from a band called WOMBO. Their album is called Fairy Rust, and it is on a melted cloud colored vinyl. It is described as flirting with prog, pop, and effervescent post-punk. WOMBO's forward-thinking approach set them apart as one of the most exciting up-and-coming bands right now. All right, next up we have a new release from the Watkins Family Hour. It is entitled Volume 2. Watkins Family Hour, they're a brother and sister duo, and they are 2/3 of the band Nickel Creek. And what happened, there's a club in LA called Largo. They set up a residency in Largo, and they would have different musicians come in and play, and it was real loose. They were able to play old songs, old traditional songs, as well as new songs they were working out. So in the spirit of what they would do monthly at Largo, they recorded an album in the studio. Here it is, Volume 2. You will find such Los Angeles luminaries as Jackson Browne and Fiona Apple and John Bryan and Betmont Trench on this album, as well as Lucius, all sorts of cool folks. So once again, the latest from the Watkins Family Hour. Next up, we have a reissue from Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers, their self-titled album. We have it sale priced on CD, and we also have it on a colored vinyl. And if you're interested in this, come and get it now, because I think this is the one and only copy we're going to get. All right, next up, we have a new release from a band called Thick. The album is called Happy Now. This is their follow-up to their album 5 Years Behind, which came out in 2020. So that's exciting. It is a trio, 3 unstoppable voices that sing in unison. And they say here, in the item description, that they deliver the most complex and confessional work yet, exploring everything from self-sabotage and insecurity to victim blaming and destructive relationships. The latest from Thick. Okay, next up we have the first solo album from David Paich, who was a founding member of Toto and is in Toto. Co-wrote a lot of their great songs. These are just songs that he's had lying around, and brought in some of his friends. He's been a session musician for 1 billion albums, maybe 500 million, and but he sold millions of records as a member of Toto. So anyhow, we have the latest from him on CD, sale price, and we should see the vinyl on Friday. Okay, next we have something new from Gretchen Peters. It is a live CD. It's actually a 2 CD set. The first CD, she's playing with a string quartet. I believe it's a quartet. And then the second disc is just her and her band from Gretchen Peters. All right, next up we have a brand new album from Five Finger Death Punch. They are still around, and they got some new music. This is a CD that we have sale price, and hopefully by Friday we should see the vinyl piece as well as a cassette. Alrighty, and lastly, in the featured title section, we have the latest from SILVERSUN Pickups. We have it sale price on CD in this fancy gatefold digipack here, as well as a gatefold vinyl that is on violet colored vinyl. All right, next up, let's get into some new releases for the week. We have new music from Manchester, latest from Ike. It is on a limited edition colored vinyl. This is his debut album. It features the song Baby with Ashanti. How cool. And also the song 1989. Okay, next up we have the latest from American Aquarium, that alt-country Americana band. It is on a green and black smoke colored vinyl. All right, next up in the new release department, we have the latest from Zach Bryan. I guess this is his debut full length. We had an EP from him before. This is his debut full length. It is entitled American Heartbreak. It is out now, and then you can get the vinyl in December 9th. All right, next up, we have the latest from I Prevail. It is entitled True Power, and they are coming to Janice Live on Tuesday, September 27th, but that show is sold out. All right, next up, we have a collab from the rapper STS and RJD2 behind the Wheels of Steel and Control Board. This is on a gold colored vinyl. All right, next up we have a brand new album from Silverstein, believe it or not. This is called Misery Made Me, and it is on an opaque tangerine colored vinyl. All right, next up we have, finally on LP, this came out recently on compact disc. It is the latest from the WATERBOYS. It is entitled All Souls Hill, and you can pick it up on a limited red colored vinyl. Okay, a couple more new releases to talk about. we have a 7-inch from Rammstein, and it is entitled Dikketitten. It's a Dutch word or two. And then also in the new release department, we have this doc here with Tiny Tim, and it's called King for a Day, and it is narrated by Weird Al Yankovic. And it goes into Tiny Tim's diary and all sorts of like what made him tick. I really am interested in seeing this. Once again, Tiny Tim, King for a Day. Okay, so now let's get into the reissues for the week. We're going to start off with a pair of spoken word albums. First off, we have Black Spirits, Festival of New Black Poets in America. This was recorded at the Apollo Theater in Harlem and was released on Motown Records in 1972. Okay, next up on that same imprint from Motown Records, we have this record here from Stokely Carmichael. It is entitled Free Huey. It was a speech that he gave at a Free Huey rally in February of 1968. This album was a passionate critique of American racism, imperialism, and capitalism, and was released in 1970, which was the year that Huey Newton's conviction was reversed. Next up, we have a reissue from Candlemass. This was their third album that came out in 1988. Okay, next we have Eric Church with And. This was previously only available through his fan club. And he released 2 albums last year. One was called Heart, and the second album was called Soul. And this is the companion piece to those 2 records. This is a 6-song EP, and so that would complete your Heart and Soul. Okay, next we have on silver colored vinyl, COBRA Starship with their album Hot Mess. This first came out in 2009, I do believe, and this could very well be the first time that this has been on vinyl. Next up in the reissue department, we have Alice Cooper, the Alice Cooper Band with their album Killer. It came out in 1970, and I do believe that this reissue has a recreation of the calendar, the 1972 calendar that was in the original press. All right, next we have Dope Lemon with their EP Houndstooth. It is on a clear lime colored vinyl, and it was originally released in 2017. All right, some more Afrobeat in the store. Here we have a reissue of Fela Kuti's Rofofo Fight. It's the 50th anniversary. It is on an orange and green colored vinyl. Next we have a deluxe color edition of Lightning Bolt's Oblivion Hunter. This album was originally released in 2012. Okay, next we have a reissue of the MONKEES Headquarters. It is on a clear blue colored vinyl. This is the 3rd album from the MONKEES, and it originally came out in 1967. Okay, this recently came out on CD, and now it is out on vinyl, 180 gram vinyl. It is from Napalm Death. It is entitled Resentment is Always Seismic, which the MONKEES could have called that album. But anyway, this is a companion piece to their 2020 album, Throes of Joy in the Jaws of Defeatism. This is an 8-track selection that was recorded around the same time. Next we have a reissue from Oasis, their album Be Here Now. It was originally released in 1997, and in 2022 you can pick it up on a silver colored vinyl. Right, next up from the Acoustic Sounds series, we have Oscar Peterson Trio with We Get Requests. This originally was released in 1964, and it has since been given the reissue treatment. It has been mastered from the original analog tapes. It is on 180 gram vinyl and a very nice tip-on jacket, gatefold sleeve. You know the drill. Next up we have a box from the Pyramids. It features their 1970s recordings. It is a 4 LP set that includes a 12-page booklet. It is described as high-intensity African-styled percussions topped with songs, chants, and horns laced with African instruments and arranged into long, flowing suites that surge and roll. Alright, next up, in the 40th anniversary reissue department, we have R.E.M. with their EP Chronic Town. It is on this very nice picture disc. One side with the gargoyle, the other side with the band. It was recorded in 1981 in Winston-Salem. And we have it on picture disc as well as cassette, which is probably the way most people had it in 1981. Okay, next up we have a pair of reissues from Tampa Legends Sabotage. First up we have Edge of Thorns. It is on a sun yellow colored vinyl. It includes a 12-page booklet and an exclusive print. This originally was released in 1993 and was the last album with Chris Oliva. And then next up we have the follow-up, which is Handful of Rain. It came out in 1994 and it is on a transparent blue colored vinyl. And according to my notes here, it has an exclusive slip mat. Whoa. Oh yeah, I can feel the weight. Alright, this week we have, in addition to that Acoustic Sounds reissue, we have 2 albums from the Blue Note Classic series. So first off, we have Wayne Shorter with Adam's Apple. It has been mastered from the original analog tapes by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. It is on 180-gram vinyl, and this was originally released in 1966. Okay, next we have SLIPKNOT with their album Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. This is on an orange colored vinyl, and the only way you can get it from us is to come in the store and pick it up. Or if you're watching this video, you can call us on the phone and we'll do a phone order. But this is already cut out, super limited. What we got is what we got. We're not getting any more, and we want to reserve them for our local customers. Next up, we have TESSERACT with Polaris, their 2015 album, which is often reissued and has been reissued once again. Alright, next up we have this really cool album here from Muddy Waters and the Rolling Stones. You can pick it up on an opaque red and white colored vinyl, gatefold packaging. This was reissued on a Record Store Day or something like that a few years ago, but now it's got a wide release. The story is the Stones were on tour in 1981. They had a 3-night stand in Chicago. Muddy Waters, he was playing at Buddy Guy's Club in Chicago, and so the Stones paid him a visit. Keith, Ronnie, Mick, and eventually, you know, feelings were good. Band hops up on stage, and they're playing with Muddy Waters, and Buddy Guy joins them as well, so it's really a rip-rocking show. Muddy Waters with the Rolling Stones from 1981. Okay, and then lastly in the reissue department, and lastly in the Blue Note Classic series, we have Larry Young with his album Unity. It was originally released in 1965, and like with all the Blue Note Classics, they are mastered from the original tapes on 180-gram vinyl. Alright, so thank you for tuning in, hanging in. There's plenty going on at the factory this weekend. Every Thursday we send out an email newsletter, and in that newsletter we detail what's going on at the factory, so check out our email. Also, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please smash that notification bell. You will not miss any of our videos. Next week Jada will be doing the pre-order video, so check that out as well. And don't forget, Friday, August 19th at Cage Brewery, Jada will be DJing, and the New Brutarians will have their record release party. If you're coming to the store, please remember that we are cashless. Debit card, credit card, Google Pay, Apple Pay, those are all good, but we're trying to stay away from the cash, so please keep that in mind, and hopefully we will see you soon.